Hello, Contrarians listeners, watchers, subscribers. Here we are with the latest Contrarians post-credits. This one is for the classic sci-fi movie Silent Running. How classic is it? Neither Alex nor I had heard of it until somebody threw it our way. Our good friend, fellow podcaster Ryan. Well, Alex, this is fresh. I think it's respectably fresh. 71% on the Tomatometer with 35 critic reviews. Man, can you really call yourself a classic if you can't even break 50 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes? I don't know. 66% on the popcorn meter, 50,000 plus ratings. Bruce Dern, as a young man, it's enough to make you question the nature of life. It's a sci-fi movie from the 70s. You kind of know what you're getting into, but it's critically acclaimed. That means that on the main feed, we were very nitpicky and tried to be negative about it. But here on this post-credits, we're going to give you some extra Rotten Tomatoes quotes, some extra trivia. We're going to talk about the trailer. Oh, that trailer. And we're going to do the Josh Gad Minute. So, Alex, if you're ready, I say let's get started with the consensus. Critics' consensus says it doesn't fulfill the potential of its ambitious themes, but Silent Running stands as a decidedly unique type of sci-fi journey marked by intimate character work and a melancholic mood. Melancholic mood, Alex? Did you feel like having a good cry when the movie was over?
No. But I mean, it is. It's melancholic, and I think if you listen to the episode, you'll hear Julio and I talk about kind of different lens that you watch it through in 2026, knowing that even less people care about the planet now, and fuck it, not my problem.
Bruce Dern was right all along,
as in most cases.
Yes, yeah, he was right in Nebraska too. The journey was worth it. Yeah, I guess there are people in the 70s that maybe would be like, "Oh, he's so silly." And
look at this hippie.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, these are fresh quotes. So these are people that at least found some sympathy towards Bruce Dern. And we're going to start with Sarah Michelle Fetters from MovieFreak.com, who says, Douglas Trumbull's Silent Running is a flawed classic, but that still makes it a classic. I mean...
A little disconnect there.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's flawed classics. I think most classics, in a way, if they've gone...
I misunderstood. Like, I thought he was saying a flaw is what makes it a classic. No, yeah, that's imperfections sometimes make things perfect, So, yeah. I guess I'm still struggling with calling this movie a classic is all.
I think that maybe it's a classic in certain circles. Like if you're a big sci-fi person, which I like sci-fi, but I guess I'm not as much of a sci-fi person to where I would tell you, oh yeah, Silent Running is the seminal work that went on to inspire other people and influence future movies. I can see it now that I've seen it, but I get, when you think classics, you usually think of the popular classics, but there is such a thing as a low-key cult classic that you don't find out until,
Oh, yeah, I'd probably be much more comfortable labeling or this being like ascribed to cult classic as opposed to just, it's not a classic the way Star Wars is.
Yes. Even though they move in the same circles. As I said, they're in the same ballpark. So, yeah, Sarah, no, I don't disagree. We're going to move on to Whale Carey from RogerEbert.com. So this is one of those, what does Ebert call them? Maybe still do on a website, far-flung correspondence, maybe, he created his posse of young movie critics, Ebert did. And then once he passed away, they took over the asylum, and now they
had the keys.
They write under the Roger Ebert banner. And I mentioned it before, there's a very petty part of me that resents that. I'm like, the site says Roger Ebert, so don't trick me into clicking, thinking I'm going to read Ebert's review about Silent Running, and instead it's this person, Whale Carey, whoever he is. But Well, Fresh Tomato from 3 years ago says more relevant today than it was back in 1972.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe more like uh, easier to grasp. I think that's what I would say, because I think it was still relevant in the 70s. It's just that maybe people were like, "Oh, you're overreacting,"
Yeah.
but today it's like, "Oh yeah, you were right," and well, there's nothing else that we can do. So that is sad, sad, sad. Um, we gotta do one more, Alex. We have Eddie Harrison from filmauthority.com who says, a somber, often pompous story, but it's also got offbeat charm.
Often pompous, eh?
Yeah, I didn't feel it was pompous. I feel like we are more pompous than movie in
Yeah.
the episode in regular life. I think that it might be confusing passion with pompousness. Like, did you ever feel that the movie was talking down to you?
No, I could see people from this generation, though, or people who watch this in real time that didn't like it or didn't agree with its message, finding it preachy, because it certainly is preachy, but I don't.
Yeah.
There's been so many pretentious movies that have come out since this, that and many of which we've done on the podcast. Like, I see it in the background there. I was actually talking about this movie the other day, Official Competition. I
Yes.
love that movie, but if someone called it pompous, I'd be like, yeah. But then, pregnant pause. But that's the point,
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I think that maybe what people consider pompous, when was this? This is 5 years ago. Eddie Harrison, what the hell? We're already past 2020. I think that you can't watch Silent Running and think that it's pompous. Out of all the things that you could call it, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Anyway, those were the quotes. Let's move on to the trailer, Alex. A classic trailer if we've ever watched one.
Yeah, this is the drive-in, grindhouse. This is the trailer. I can just see like how beat up this would have been in whatever theater it was showing in, where it does the thing where it quickly says the name of the movie, and then it explains a futuristic world where there are no rules, and then it shows so much of what's going on. And then the drones have their own portion of the trailer where it's like, and meet the drones.
Yes.
And sadly, it gives away the poker scene, which is like one of the big, scenes in the movie. It kind of spoils everything, and it goes all over the place, but it is so this is what the point of a trailer was once upon a time, was you have 90 seconds. It's an infomercial, essentially, or commercial, to sell people and make them remember, especially before like the internet and shit and home video, make them remember, I want to go see that by any means necessary. And this movie hits all the high points, and then it ends with end music from Joan Baez, and then gives the two songs that she plays. And so you can't say this trailer doesn't establish expectations.
Yeah, that's an excellent point that I don't think that I've ever considered in all the time that we've been doing these. The fact that when you get into the trailers from long ago, they needed to really get in your head and stay there, because it's not like you could just watch them on YouTube later. When you get home, it's like, oh, what was that movie? And they really need to make.
Yeah, there's so many trailers from this era that say the name of the movie like fucking 7 times throughout the trailer. I feel like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then in the end, again, it circles back to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But yeah, that's it was a different time.
Bruce Dern doesn't get called out, I don't think.
No, because we talked about in the episode, I can't remember exactly where it was. This wasn't his first, but he wasn't Bruce Dern yet.
Yeah, because otherwise his name would have been a lot in the trailer too, also. And Bruce Dern.
Yes, and Bruce Dern.
Yes. For all the movie spoils and everything it shows you, I think it still doesn't give you the one, I guess, the big twist in the movie. And if you haven't seen Silent Running, I guess I'm about to spoil it, but it's so simple too, and it kind of explains it, what happens, which is that he betrays. I mean, you see him fight one of the guys, but the trailer doesn't really give you the scope of this betrayal. He really, he kills his coworkers, and then he goes rogue and takes the ship with the forest, and then the rest of the movie is him kind of trying to get that, to save space, but the trailer makes it look like you were like he's working together with mission control or whatever to get to safety. That's not what's happening at all. So yeah,
he is not Sandra Bullock trying to get in touch with the home base.
No, Bruce Dern is the Gravity.
Gravity with the music from Joan Baez.
Yes. Yeah, I guess now that you've put that perspective in my head, I am a lot more forgiving of this trailer. Yeah, they really had to do what they had to do, and they hit all the high points. I would tell anybody watching this who hasn't watched the movie and watched the trailer, don't be fooled, because the movie's a little more slow paced, more chill in a way than what we have here in the trailer. The trailer sells it more like an action movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a trailer. Alex, before we go to trivia, let's check in and Josh Gad, see where we can put him here in this sci-fi from the 70s.
So I have my plan of execution here on this one already. I mean, we're not riddled with possibilities per se, but obviously he could play one of the three what do you call them? Co-workers, I guess? Co-pilots, comrades of
bullies
of Bruce Dern. There's the one that has a little bit of empathy for him, which that's the one he ends up strangling to death, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, nice guys finish last.
I don't know if we want to see fucking Gad doing the Total Recall, but he could be Mission Control. But I think we changed the movie a little bit, and Dewey, Huey, and Louie, the three drones, have voices in this.
Okay.
And because they're all built by the same manufacturer, like Gad is the voice, kind of like, the new Child's Play, for example, Mark Hamill's the voice of Buddy. The Josh Gad would be the voice of Dewey, Huey, and Louie. Now, obviously, that changes some things because it would change some scenes of communication.
Yes.
Because they can talk to themselves in this, but, Bruce Dern doesn't understand them. But I'm just thinking from like a marketing perspective, if we wanted to actually make money with this movie, we could make a line of toys that, the pull string, and Gad is in the studio recording, lines for these. And it's lol.
Man.
That's not how you water a plant, lol. Something like that, he would say. Where's the sunlight?
It changes the movie so much. I like it, but it changes the movie so much.
Yeah, it does. So because of that, the more realistic approach would be he would be Mission Control, and kind of we could give him a bit more personality because it's pretty straightforward, and he could get more like, how the hell, like really animated with it. How did you survive that? When he gets bounced around Saturn or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, Gad, he showed us what he can bring to the table with Olaf, so I'm just trying to expand into that realm.
I think, that's kind of the easy way in with Gad is like using his vocal talent. And the only problem is he's so I'm just stuck on him as the drones, because his voice is so like exuberant. He's so happy, and the movie's so sad that it could be interesting to have just these really very happy robots as Bruce Dern's world is just falling apart.
Yeah, like they're eternal optimists, and he's just like, shut the fuck up.
Yes, yeah. So that is, I think I would give it a shot, and then maybe run a test screening and see if it works. If it doesn't work, then we remove the voice.
The two different versions, yeah.
Yes, maybe we reshoot some of the scenes. But
we could always just do, if it doesn't go well, the Dark Knight Rises or Haywire trick, where we just do a bunch of ADR that doesn't match up with the rest of the movie.
Call Laura San Giacomo to the voice of the
stick reference. And then, or like with Bane, you put his frequency on a higher level than everyone else's. So every time he talks, it's like. To be fair, that joke only works if you saw it in the theater. Because but anyway, we'll talk about
every
it
time
day,
Bane talks.
When we have Nolan on here, we'll ask him about it.
So when we bring him over to talk about the Odyssey, we're like, hey, do you want to roast your movie? All right. Well, that was the Josh Gad Minute. Alex, let's close it down with trivia.
Bruce Dern, looking at the poster here, his name is definitely bolded with the others. Amazing companions on an incredible adventure. ... that journeys beyond imagination. All right, so Silent Running was released on March 10th of 1972 at a budget of $1.35 million, directed by Douglas Trumbull, written by Derek Washburn, Michael Cimino, and Stephen Bochco. Now, I didn't find much in the way box office, I was trying to say, but it was Julio already talked about the reception. Ebert liked it. Siskel didn't. Ebert gave it 4 stars. He gave it the whole gamut there. This quote along with it is just so funny to me because it's meant to be like a compliment, but it just doesn't sound like it. He said that Bruce Dern is a very good, subtle actor. Like, there's just there's some people I know that could read that and be like, what the fuck does that mean? Siskel was still stuck in 2001. He said that it wasn't good because 2001 had recently come out.
Man, he really needs to get over it. Remember when we talked about Star Wars New Hope on the Patreon channel not too long ago? Mm-hmm. And that was the thing on his review. Siskel was also like, if you think this is going to be 2001, you need to forget about that that expectation. And I was like, yeah, I don't think anybody watched the trailer for A New Hope and thought that it was going to be 2001.
It won the 1972 Golden Asteroid for Best Picture at the International Science Fiction Film Festival in Italy, which I think is very cool.
Man, do you think they still do those? Do you think they're still in production, those Golden Asteroids?
Let's see here. I mean, yeah, it's just like the golden popcorn bucket. Just imagine Bruce Dern having one of those.
Speaking of Nolan, he probably got one for Interstellar.
Nods and various Easter eggs of the film would make their way in numerous genre media, including Ronald D. Moore's 2001 Battlestar Galactica miniseries, Steven Spielberg's 2018 film adaptation Ready Player One. As a testament to the film's cult status, a screen-matched costume jumpsuit worn by Bruce Dern, originating from Douglas Trumbull's personal collection, sold for over $40,000 in 2020. In the video game Super Mario Odyssey, various steam-powered robots are upkeeping a biodome in a wooded area. So there continues to be cultural references to this. Joel Hodgson credits Silent Running as being a direct influence on the concept of Mystery Science Theater 3000, with both Silent Running and MST3K featuring a single human aboard a spaceship accompanied only by robot companions.
A little wackier on the Mystery Science Theater side.
A little bit. A novelization of the film was published in 1972 by Scholastic Books. It was written by longtime children's book author Harlan Thompson, based on the screen story and screenplay, but it features expanded scenes taking place on Earth. So more, because to be fair, in this movie, we learn that Earth ain't cutting cheese anymore. Or cutting the mustard. I'm sorry, cutting the cheese is a flatulence reference.
Well, I mean, I thought that that's what you were saying.
I guess
Earth
it's not
is
either,
just
though.
fucked.
Yeah, the atmosphere is all fucked, so maybe it is, but cutting the mustard is what I meant to say there. It's not, you ain't cashing checks on Earth no more, basically. But
it's all direct deposit.
Yeah, but the movie doesn't exactly go into detail about what happened and how we got to this point, which I appreciate from the movie perspective. But that's exactly what a novelization exists to do, so
yeah,
commendable. In October of 1998, it was reported that Simon West had entered a deal with Universal Pictures to develop a direct remake of Silent Running.
Dude.
With a script from Rudy Gaines and John Rice.
Simon West, that's a name that... Come back to Star Wars A New Hope. It's a name I hadn't heard in a long time. What is he? Con Air, right?
Con
is
Air.
that his biggest claim to fame? Maybe Gone in 60 Seconds?
For me, personally, he directed The Expendables 2, which is a fantastic film.
Oh.
Yeah. Much better than the first one.
Not the person I would think of for a Silent Running remake. At least not one that would...
Exactly. Especially with, in October of 98, it would have been after Con Air, is the whole thing. And so, just crazy action. Bruce, whoever plays fucking Lowell, just flies the biodome into Earth. Like,
Nicolas Cage.
We got to save the trees. Here, a little backstory on the physical media front. Film had been released several times on home video by Universal, beginning with the Betamax Pan and Scan released in 1982, with several VHS releases that followed. A DVD was released featuring the film's original aspect ratio, first on March 18th of 1998, and then again on March 21st of 2002, this time with various extra features. A Blu-ray of the film was released, Region B, so that means Europe, I believe, on November 14th of 2011 for the film's 40th anniversary, initially in a steelbook case. So that, probably for collectors, is the holy grail of the silent running physical media releases. 4K scan and 2K restorations eventually came. Both were released under license from Universal Studios with transfers approved by director Douglas Trumbull. It looks like the 4K finally made its way to Region A, Region 1, Region A, I think is what it is, in December of 2022. So, a movie that has many iterations. It's also a movie that, I don't know, you think if the Criterion gets too silent at one point in time, they'd drop something on this? I mean, it's a fucking Bruce Dern science fiction movie. You could church up the release pretty heavily.
Yeah, I mean, I think that every now and then they need one of those like really culty movies to put in between like the big releases that everybody knows, you know, like, so that if you're doing like from now the next release is like numbers 450 to 460, you know, 456 would be Silent Running, 67 would be I don't know, The Expendables 2. And 65 would be I don't know, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein or whatever.
Yeah,
but they need, you know, the classics in between that people are like, sure,
oh yeah,
why not? Yeah, man, I'm still thinking about the Mystery Science Theater thing, because I think the implication is that the guy from Mystery Science Theater then killed his all his associates in that space station, and now it's just him and the robots. If you know, if you're taking direct inspiration from Silent Running, which is
I guess so,
makes it more interesting.
Last bit here. Douglas Trumbull says he learned how to be a director while working on this movie, as he had no prior training or experience. What a project to have this on. And part of that was he was trying so hard to keep costs down, he hired college students to make the models and special effects work, because I imagine you could just give them the experience nod and you don't actually have to pay them. And it's 1972. God knows like what the fucking union laws and shit were at that point.
That's fun to have that on your resume as a young college kid.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I wasn't just playing with puppets in my summer. I was actually like making motion picture with Bruce Dern. I like it. I like the idea. And I'm thinking, you ever get your hands on one of those steelbooks, Alex? What you do is you wait and find out where Laura Dern is going to be like signing autographs, and you go up to her table and then you just go, can you give this to your dad? And just have him sign it and mail it back to me. Can
you imagine Bruce Dern doing like a Comic-Con? Yeah, Bruce Dern at like a convention or something, man. That's something I need to see.
Just completely unimpressed by anything. Like all these crowds.
Oh yeah, like someone like coming up reciting dialogue from this movie to him or something like that, or someone like acts out that like tells him that like Nebraska saved their life or something. He's just like, get the fuck away from me.
Where's lunch? All right. Well, that was Silent Running. I had fun with it on the show. So if you haven't listened to the episode yet, you should. And you should watch it too. Like I said, when we were talking about the trailer, just be ready for a slower movie than I think you might be expecting when you think science fiction romp. And coming up next, Alex. So this won't have a post-credits, but the next thing on our main feed is going to be our first recap of the first 8 episodes of Fresh Immigrants Rotten Fascists. So be ready for that. That'll be a lot of fun. If everything works out, we're going to have a guest, so it'll be extra fun. And then on the main feed, after that, on an actual episode, is the movie Rye Lane. Is that right? That sounds right, right? Yeah. Rye
Mhm.
Lane, all I know is it's fresh. And one of our wonderful patrons, Jason Nudrobert, said that we should do it. So that's what's coming up next. Just find it, watch it. I think it's on Hulu, and and join us for Rye Lane next time. But until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all your attention, and we'll see you again soon.
Protect the planet.
Yes.